Hey everybody, this is Coach Desmond. It's December 26th, and right now everyone's playing with their gifts. The guests are doing whatever, people are watching TV, and now you're getting a moment to yourself to now start giving yourself permission to start looking into 2026. What do I want? What I want to do differently? But I'm going to ask you to go ahead and make sure that this year, you don't make the same mistake that you've always made. What's the same mistake? Creating this long grocery list of things you want to go ahead and accomplish, only to find yourself getting disappointed over and over again. Hey, everybody, this is Coach Desmond on that. And for the last, matter of fact, 7 years, we coached over 2,000 professionals, almost 2,500. And I specialize in working with introverted perfectionists. And if you're one of those two things, you definitely want to lean in, because this is the part where we now look at our list and for a brief, shiny moment, get excited about what we could accomplish, only to find out what happens next. We get overwhelmed, and then we quit on the goals, and then we're disappointed, and rinse and repeat. So if you're like so many of the people I get a chance to work with, I want to go ahead and help you to avoid that rinse and repeat. And let's go ahead and get into something very, very practical that I think you're going to find very, very handy. Okay. All right. So what are we going to do differently? Well, what we're going to do differently is this. You're going to choose the one promise that you're going to go ahead and keep to yourself. Matter of fact, people keep thinking that they fail because their goal was too small. No, it wasn't your goal was too small. You failed because your goals were too many. Yeah, matter of fact, and they oftentimes are confusing ambition with progress, planning with doing, excitement with commitment. And so by February, they're tired, they're disappointed, and they're blaming themselves. Yeah. Guys, listen, if you want to make sure that 2026 is not a repeat of 2025 on how you do things, lean into today's video, because I want to give to you some really great advice that has helped me and so many of the people that I've coached who are like you, introverted perfectionists who are amazing, by the way, but do get caught up in overwhelm, which gets them to go ahead and simply start with a bang, but eventually end with a fizzle. Okay. All right. Okay. So what do we want? What's the core message here? Okay. If you want to win in 2026, don't set more goals. Set one promise and keep it. Okay. Now, what I want you to here's some examples I want to talk about. You can write a paragraph a day if you're a person who's writing. Okay. One paragraph a day. Reach out to one person if you're trying to go ahead and restore a relationship. If you want to go ahead and basically increase your finances, just review one article or read that one book going on here for 15 minutes a day. If you're thinking about fitness, the whole thing is 15 minutes a day. The confusion that a lot of you are having right now is the fact that, dude, doesn't it have to be a little bit more intense than that? No, you got to understand that I would rather get a person who basically now does 100 days of average effort than a person who takes 10 days of perfect effort. I once read an article about a person who lost 100 pounds over 1 year by simply just showing up to the gym every day. Now, some of you are thinking, well, of course that happened. Duh. No, you don't get it. When they first started, they just simply got out the car, walked to the front of the gym, stood at the gym and said, okay, and then went back to the car and went back home. What we began to learn in that article was that person was simply now creating a habit of simply showing up, creating a habit that simply said, I'm the person who shows up to do a workout. Didn't really matter if the workout was perfect or not. The real challenge and the real win was he showed up. And what ended up happening, what started off as simply showing up to look at the gym, eventually now went to when he went in the gym. And then when he went in the gym, the first day was 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And before you know it, when it was all said and done, he was working out for about a good 40 to 45 minutes. And while we say the weight loss of 100 pounds is the main goal here, it turns out the real goal was simply getting him into a mindset of he's a person who does not break promises to himself, and he's a person who doesn't miss workouts. That's why the one thing here is so powerful for people like you and me, the introverted perfectionists who can get all up in our heads talking about we didn't do things perfectly. Guys, listen, I know all about this because I coach so many of you. So before you start thinking about being consistent, the lie we tell ourselves is consistency equals perfection. What do we mean by that? Well, for the perfectionist, for the introverted perfectionist, they say in that case, using the workout, that for me, the perfect workout is going to be 45 minutes of my booty bust, matter of fact, Zumba or whatever. Okay. So in your mind, perfection is 45 minutes of this workout done well. Now, like life be lifing, sometimes what ends up happening, we don't have 45 minutes or a change of plan happens. So for the perfectionists, what ends up happening when they don't see that they have the 45 minutes set up that they're going to fulfill, they basically say, well, we're not going to be able to go ahead and work out at all. And that's where we start seeing one day turn to 2 days, 3 days turn into a week turns into 2 weeks. And before you know it, it's been 2 weeks since we've had the workout. And here comes the self-loathing. Here comes the feelings of disappointment. And oh my gosh, we have failed again. Listen, if you hate that rinse and repeat cycle, listen carefully to your coach right now. This is the reason why this advice of simply just showing up to keep your promise is all you need to go ahead and do. Do not worry about the intensity of it. It's going to go ahead and grow. Right now, what you need to do is give yourself the grace. The goal here isn't the perfect workout. The goal here is that you did the workout. The goal here is that you actually wrote on the pages for that book. The goal here is that we actually worked on the business. The goal here is that we just simply showed up. I would much rather you have 100 days of non-perfect activity than simply 5 days of perfect activity. Who do you think is going to win at the end? Yeah, the person who had 100 days. Guys, listen, I'm hoping what this is going to do is right now, change your perspective on how you're going to win in 2026. It's not going to be fulfilling, matter of fact, a list of 25 things to get done. It's going to be that one promise that you made a commitment to go ahead and simply keep to yourself. If you simply follow this, you're going to have an amazing result in 2026. I guarantee it. And if you're saying to yourself, Des, this sounds amazing, I can use a little help though. How about some accountability? Well, as you guys know, I am a coach. So again, if that's you and you're saying, Des, I want to look into getting that, set up your free, that's right, free coaching session with me to go ahead and go into what you're dealing with more personally, so we can go ahead and really custom make this to you. And if that's you, go ahead and reply with the word one in the comment, and we'll be able to go ahead and send you out a link. So for you to go ahead and schedule your free one-on-one coaching session. Guys, it's been Coach Desmond. Was this helpful? I hope it was. If you like what you heard here today, hey, don't be selfish. Pay this forward and share this with a friend. Okay, my friend, can't wait to work with you. Have an amazing 2026. God bless you. We'll see you soon.